ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं वाद सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। गुकारस्त्वन्धकारश्च अन्धकारनिरोधित्वात् गुरुरित्यभिधीयते। सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। नमः श्रीशङ्करानन्द गुरुपादाम्बुजन्मने सविलासमहामोह ग्राहग्रासैककर्मणे। Third verse. परिपूर्णः परात्मास्मिन् देहे विद्याधिकारिणी बुद्धे साक्षितया स्थित्वा स्फुरन्नहमितीर्यते। स्वतः पूर्णपरात्मात्र ब्रह्मशब्देन वर्णितः। अस्मीत्यैक्यपरामर्शः तेन ब्रह्म भवाम्यहम्। एकमेवाद्वितीयं सत् नामरूपविवर्जितम्। सृष्टेः पुराधुनाप्यस्य तादृक्त्वं तदतीर्यते। श्रोते देहेन्द्रियातीतं वस्त्रत्वत्वं पदेरितम्। एकता ग्राह्यते सीति तदैक्यमनुभूयताम्। So the discussion is this Mahavakya Tattvamasi of Chandogya Upanishad, where the fifth verse gave the meaning of the word Tat in that Mahavakya. That is none other than Sat Ekameva Dvitiyam Nama Rupa Varjitam Srishtehe Pura. So that which this creation was before the beginning. So this universe, Jagat, was before its creation, was nothing but Sat, which was devoid of name and form. Adhunapi, and even now also that Sat obtains in the same way. So in spite of the names and forms being there, the Sat remains Nam Rupa Vivarjitam. It remains devoid of names and forms as it was before creation, because it is not within the realm of time. So time only applies to names and forms. And therefore, whenever this past and present tense, etc. are employed, they are not employed ever with reference to Sat, which is the truth. It is employed only with reference to the manifestations of names and forms. And yes, we can mark the manifestation of names and forms in time, and can say that there was a time when the names and forms were not manifest, and then a time came when they started manifesting. So when the names and forms were not manifest, well, Sat was Sat. When the names and forms are manifest, Sat remains Sat. Meaning that the names and forms, whether manifest or unmanifest, do not bring about any modification in Sat, which is truth. And so today also that truth remains what it is, as Jagadadhishthanam, as a very substratum or the very reality of the whole creation, of the whole existence. And that is you. So you are that. So that which existed before the creation began, and which exists now, and which will ever exist, which is pure existence, that is what you are. And Paṃcadaśī, in the 6th verse, Shrotuhu Dehendriyatitam. So Tat Tvamasi, what is the meaning of the word Tvam? Shrotuhu Dehendriyatitam Vastu. That Vastu, which is Dehendriyatitam, which is beyond this Deha, Indriya, etc. Shrotuhu, of the listener, of the disciple. Atra Mahavakya Paṃcadaśī. And that Vastu, which is beyond the body and the sense organs, is Iritam, is Lakshitam, is what is implied or indicated by the word Tvam. That's what the Tikakara explains. Shrotuhu, that's the 6th case of Shrotru. Sarvādi Anusthānena Mahavakyāsat Pratipattuhu. So this Vakya, this statement, is made before a Shrota, before a student or disciple. So there alone it will be effective. When the one who listens to this has the right kind of qualification or right frame of mind, then of course teaching of the Upadesha of the teacher becomes effective. Therefore, here the teacher is Shrotuhu. I mean, it is Atma, anybody's Atma is Brahman, not only the Atma of the listener. However, the one who will see this fact is a particular kind of Shrota or listener. Shravanādi Anusthānena Mahavakyāsat Pratipattuhu. Pratipattu means knowledge. So Pratipatru means one who knows. So Pratipattuhu, so one who is knower. Mahavakyāsat Pratipattuhu. So one knows the artha, the meaning of Mahavakya. How? Shravanādi Anusthānena. The Anusthānam of Shravanādi, Shravanam, Mananam, Vidhyasanam. By this, one who is desirous of knowing the meaning of the Mahavakya, he is a Shrota, he is a listener. And he is being told that thou art. So what is meant by thou or you is Dehendriyatitam, Atitam. So that which is beyond, that which is remote is called Atitam, or that which is beyond is called Atitam. That which is beyond Deha Indriya, Deha Indriyopalakshita, Sthulādi Shariratra, Sakshata Tad Vilakshanam Vastu. Not only Deha Indriya, but Deha Indriyopalakshita, Sthulādi Shariratra. So Deha means gross body and Indriya means sense organs, but that should also include the subtle body, the causal body and everything. So that which is beyond the gross, subtle and the causal body. What do you mean by beyond? Shariratra Sakshitaya Avasthitam. That is obtained as the very Sakshi or the witness of all the three bodies. Yat Swapna Jagara Sushuptam Avaiti Nityam. That which ever knows is Swapna, Jagara and Sushuptam. That is the witness of the dream, the waking and the deep sleep. And therefore, Tad Vilakshanam. So Atitam here means Sakshitaya Vilakshanam. So this Vastu or Atma is the very Sakshi, the witness of the three bodies, gross, subtle and causal, and therefore Vilakshanam. These bodies are what? Drishya, and Sakshi is Drashta. This is Jadam, and Sakshi is Chetana. And so this is how Vilakshanata is. This Drishyam, these three bodies are many, Sakshi is one, these are limited, that one is limitless, they are bound by time, this is beyond time, subject to modifications, beyond modifications, and so on and so forth. In every way, that Sakshi is Vilakshana, he is totally distinct or different. Tad Vilakshanam Vastu, that is Sad Vastu, that very same Vastu, that Sat, which is the substratum of the whole creation, alone obtains here as a Sakshi. Tvam pada idam. Idam means Vakyagadena. Tvam iti padena lakshitam. Tvam pada. By the word Tvam in the Mahavakya Tattvamasi, idam lakshitam. That is what is implied, or that is what is indicated by the word Tvam. Because you means what? Depends on what that fellow takes himself to be. So you are Brahma, and that can create a lot of confusion also. Because if I think that I am such and such, if I take myself the ego, then somebody may come out as Virochana. It happened to him. When he was given this Upodesha, he came out with the conclusion that this body is Brahman, and this body is Ishvara. But that's what he thought he was. So when the teacher says, you are Brahma, then if I think that I am the body, then I will come to the conclusion that this body is Brahman. When he went back and told all his people that Prajapati has said that this body is Brahman, and therefore the body must be worshipped, it must be taken care of, and so on and so forth. And therefore it is necessary, Drashtuhu or Shrotuhu. One was Shrota, meaning one who is doing this Shravana Adhishthanam again and again. And therefore one in whose mind is samskara are there. And therefore one will understand the implied meaning of the statement. Because it requires negation. That Tvam Asi, when this totally different or Vilakshana, totally opposite, the things of opposite qualities or attributes are placed in the same Adhikaranam, because Tvam or I am limited in every respect, and Tat is limitless, and it said that this limited individual is limitless Brahman. It just doesn't make sense. And so one has to understand that, one has to negate that sense of limitation, otherwise there is no way that that identity can work, no way that the Samanyavikaranyam will ever be justified. So the fact that Tat and Tvam are equated, of course Samanyavikaranyam or placing ourselves in the same Adhikaranam can be by many relationships, but here what is meant is plain and simple identity, not relationship or nothing else. So that equal, plain and simple identity can be if Tvam is a false idea. So that makes me see or recognize that the Tvam, meaning the individuality, is false. So it requires this negation. So Tattvamasi also ultimately amounts to what? Neti neti. So I am Karta, Bhokta, Srota, etc. That Kartrutvam, Bhoktrutvam, all of it is false, because that's what makes me a limited being. And so this is what is meant. Therefore that samskara is required. Any vakya, any statement which uses lakshana vrutti or its implication requires the context. Without the context, we won't be able to understand what someone is telling us. That's the reason why very often it happens that a group of people is standing there and two fellows are quietly talking. Nobody understands what they are talking about because they are talking in code words, in their own language. And deliberately so that no one comes to know. And so, to understand the meaning of any statement like this, where this implication, lakshana vrutti is there, the proper samskaras or proper context is necessary. And therefore, the one who has the samskara, as we were saying the other day, the white horse is walking, And so you don't see a white horse walking, he says, look, white horse is walking there. You see only a man walking there. Where is white horse? So a man is walking, but walking in a very funny fashion. So what is walking is a white horse in the man is walking, Well, you must know what a white horse is, and that this walk implies something. And then persons like me, we could not understand when Swami first gave the illustration. White horse is walking. Everybody really thought that he is just calling this man a white horse who is wearing white. It may be, because he is wearing white clothes, and therefore that man is called white horse. Then Swami had to clarify that you people are still ignorant, and so apparently Swami had not visited the United States at that time as best as I know, or maybe he had one trip here perhaps in 76. But then that white horse is not an ordinary thing, it is alcohol, and so that is what is walking. So that requires a context. Anyway, that's a very peculiar, not an example which is very, but what it means is that some context and samskara are required. And so Shravanadi samskara is required. And then alone when we are able to see what the sentence means, it implies negation of this sense of limitation. So tvamiti padena nakshitam mityarthaha etadvakyasthena asi iti padena tattvam prasamanavikaranya labdham padāsadvaya aikyam shishyam prati pratyayate ityaha. What does this asi do? Tattvam asi. In fact, the very placement of the words tat and tvam is samanadhikaranyam. Samana vibhaktikanam padanam bhinna pravritti nimittanam ekasmin arthe tatparyam samanadhikaranyam, meaning the various words are there, but they are all placed in one vibhakti, and all of them have tatparya in one locus alone. Then that usage is called samanadhikaranyam. So even the tat and tvam automatically reveals the identity. What does asi do? So asi tells that verb says something to the disciple. Evad vakyasthena asi iti padena. In that vakya tattvam asi, that word asi. Tattvam prasamanadhikaranya labdham padāsadvaya aikyam. That aikyam of identity between padāsadvaya, between two words tat and tvam, which is tattvam prasamanadhikaranya labdham. That very samanadhikaranyam, placing tat and tvam in one adhikaranam, in one vibhakti, itself reveals the identity between tat and tvam. So that identity which is obtained or is conveyed by the very use of samanadhikaranyam, shishyam prati pratyayate. The shishya is made to see that identity which is revealed by the samanadhikaranyam between tat and tvam. So that is done by the word asi, you are. So second line says, ekata grahyate asiti. Asiti ekata grahyate. And so ekata, identity between tat and tvam, is what is grahyate, is what is perceived or seen by the student there, by the word asi. And so, siddhamartham aha. What is the siddhamartham? What is the artha that is in fact accomplished through this? Aikyam anubhuvatam. That aikyam or identity, anubhuvatam, made me known, made me realize, meaning anubhuvatam, made that identity within tat and tvam, made me known by the student. Nischyatam. Tayoho tattvam padāsoho aikyam pramana siddham ekatvam anubhuvatam mumukshubhi ityarthaha. And so it is said that identity between this tat and tvam, the jiva and Ishvara, pramana siddham. So that which is pramana siddham, meaning that which is established by pramanam, the valid means of knowledge, which is Upanishad. Ekatvam anubhuvatam mumukshubhi. The mumukshus means must make it a fact of their own life. May the mumukshus, may the seekers of knowledge see or come to this ascertainment of the identity between tat and tvam, between jiva and Ishvara. Thus, those two shlokas, verses, discuss the Mahavakya Tattvamasi in the Samaveda. And now, finally says, Karma Praptasya Atharma Vedagatasya Ayamatma Brahmeti Vakyasya Artham Vyachikishuhu Ādau Ayamatma Edi Padadvayana Vivakshadam Artham Kramena Darshayati. Karma Praptasya, Krama is the sequence now, in order. Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharvaveda, that's the order. So what now obtains in the order is the fourth name is Atharvaveda. So Atharvana Veda. So that Vakya that obtains in Atharvana Veda. In Mandukya Upanishad, Ayamatma Brahma iti Vakyasya. There is also Mahavakya, Ayamatma Brahma. This Atma is Brahma. Artham Vyachikishuhu, not Vyachikishuhu, Vyachikishuhu. So, Vyakhyatum Ichuhu, Vyachikishuhu. So, therefore, he is desirous of doing the Vyakhya or exposition of that Mahavakya, Ayamatma Brahma. Although, to begin with, Ayamatma iti Paradvayana Vivakshitam Kramena Darshayati. Ayamatma Brahma, this Atma is Brahma, in that the first two words, Ayam and Atma. So the meaning that is intended to be conveyed by the two words Ayam and Atma is first being shown in order in the seventh verse. So verses 2 lines, the first line gives a meaning of the word Ayam, the second line gives a meaning of the word Atma. Ayam Atma. Swaprakaṣāparokshatvam ayamityuktito matam ahaṅkārādidehantāt pratyagātmeti gīyate. Ayam iti uktitah Swaprakaṣa aparokṣatvam matam. It doesn't just say Atma Brahma, it says Ayam Atma Brahma. Ayam is a pronoun which means this. This Atma is Brahman. What is meant by this? Swaprakaṣa. This is something that is evident, self-evident. So this Atma is Brahma. The pronoun this is used for something that is directly evident. Otherwise, that which is remote, we use the pronoun that. But this is a pronoun that is used for something that is evident. And therefore, the pronoun this means Swaprakaṣa, that which is self-evident. Aparokshatvam, meaning that which is directly known. Ayamiti uktitah matam, by the ukti or by the statement, by the utterance of the word Ayam, this is what is meant. And what is meant by Atma? Where Atma, ahaṅkārādidehantāt pratyag. That is pratyag. Pratyag means inner, with reference to everything, beginning from ahaṅkāra up to the deha. That is inner with reference to everything from ahaṅkāra to deha is Atma iti gīyate. And that is sung. Gīyate means sung, or that is what is meant by the word Atma. Says the Tīkākāra, Ayamiti uktitah, Ayamiti shabdena, Swaprakaṣa aparokṣatvam, Swaprakaṣena aparokṣatvam matam abhimatam. So this is a style. Swaprakaṣena aparokṣatvam. So Ayamiti uktitah, Ayamiti shabdena, by this word Ayam, ukti means utterance. So when the teacher says Ayam, meaning the use of the word Ayam, Swaprakaṣa aparokṣatvam. Swaprakaṣena aparokṣatvam matam abhimatam. What the teacher means is, Ayam implies here, or Ayam indicates here, Swaprakaṣena aparokṣatvam. Aparoksha. That is neither pratyaksha nor paroksha. Although the word aparoksha in the Niyayika's language means that which is pratyaksha. So what we call pratyaksha is what is called by them as aparoksha. Paroksha means that which is away from aksha, the sense organs. Para means remote. So that which is remote from the organs of perception is called paroksha. And that which is in front of the organ of perception is called pratyaksha. And so anything that is not remote is called aparoksha. So according to these Nayayikas, even this microphone also we call aparoksha. The book also is called aparoksha because it is something that is known directly. We in Vedanta would call this pratyaksha because we reserve your aparoksha for a special kind of knowledge. So according to the Vedantic terminology, paroksha is that which is remote, away from the organs of perception, and pratyaksha is that which is within the range of perception. And aparoksha is that which is neither pratyaksha and nor paroksha, which is known directly without the intervention of organs of perception or the mind. And that is a peculiar knowledge, that is the knowledge of Atma. So that particular kind of knowledge is called aparoksha jnanam. However, according to Nyayikas, Atma also is something that can be known as an object because they think that Atma also is a substance. But anyway, so aparoksha here is that which is known directly. So with reference to Atma, when the pronoun I am or this is employed, then what is intended there is that Atma is aparoksha, the one that is known directly. So when it is said adrushtadivat nitya parokshatvam, so that excludes all those entities which are paroksha. By calling Atma as aparoksha, all entities which are paroksha or never known to us, all of them are excluded from Atma. And what are those things? Adrushtadivat. Adrushta means that subtle effect that is generated as a result of performance of karma. So when we perform karma, there is a gross result, at the same time there is a subtle result also, and that subtle result is in the form of papa and punya. And that is called adrushta because it is not tangible or perceptible. In fact, it is ever paroksha. You will never know papa and punya, you can never see. Papa and punya is known only from the effect. They say that when you are happy, know that it is a result of punya. When you are unhappy, know that it is a result of papa. I mean, in simple. It is very difficult to determine what is happy and unhappy, etc., and becomes very complex. But generally speaking, happiness is because of punya and unhappiness is because of papa. So this papa and punya are something that is inferred from the effect which is happiness and unhappiness. So happiness and unhappiness are something that is known to us, but that which causes this, namely adrushta or papa punya, is never known to us directly, and therefore it is nitya paroksha, ever paroksha, ever remote or ever unknown to us. Like swarga also is nitya paroksha, is something that can never be perceived as, at least through this body. So there are so many such things like dharma, that is adrushta, all of these are supposed to be nitya paroksha, which can never be directly realized. And so by using the pronoun I am, which implies aparoksha or something that is directly known, the intention there is to exclude all such categories from Atma. That adrushta, dharma, swarga, all of these, which are paroksha, can never be Atma. So adrushta nitya parokshatvam ghataadivat drishyatvam cha vyavartayitum. However, there are so many other things which are known directly, which are what we call aparoksha, like a pot. So ghata, pata, matha, all this microphone, the book, all these objects are aparoksha in their language because they are directly perceived. So if you just say that Atma is aparoksha, if you give the definition of Atma as that is aparoksha, then the ghata also will become Atma because ghata also is aparoksha. Therefore, instead of saying Atma is aparoksha, we say Swam prakashatvena aparoksha. Atma is aparoksha, directly known, alright, at the same time Swam prakasha, self-effulgent. In that case, all such objects, such as ghata, pata, which are drishyaha, which are jadaha, so which are not self-effulgent, which depend upon the light of consciousness to reveal them, all of these are excluded. So understand how definitions are given and how we must always be very precise in giving a lakshana or definition. Lakshana means definition. And when you give a definition, it should be free from variety of doshas. Avyapti, ati vyapti, they are different doshas. And sometimes when we give a definition, it is so general that it includes so many other things. An animal with 4 legs is cow. Now there are so many animals with 4 legs, and the Vasera also will fall in that category. This is because ati vyapti, meaning includes too much. Or sometimes the definition is too restrictive, but it does not even include what you want to say. For example, one with head is called, one having 4 arms is called man or something like that. Then you don't even find that it does not even include this man. That is called avyapti. So definition can be such that it may fail to describe the object that you intend, or it may include so many things in its category. But then, therefore, the definition must be precise. Therefore, Sirf Panyaviman Manushya. One who is possessed of head, hands, etc. is called Manushya. Because there is no other animal in this world who is possessed of head, hands and the characteristics that you describe. So, you must give a definition which identifies that object or excludes that, distinguishes that object from every other object. So if you had said Atma is aparoksha, then it would include too many things, that ghata, vata, all of them are aparoksha, and they would fall in the category of Atma. That's why it is said, aparoksha, it is alright, but then swayam prakashena aparoksha. That is aparoksha, directly known, at the same time it is self-evident. That excludes all the objects which we call anatma, because all the ghata, vata, everything is not svaprakasha, is paraprakasha. And so vyavarvaitum, in order to exclude all this, in order to exclude such entities as dharma, etc., which are nitya paroksha, at the same time to exclude all such entities as ghatapada, which are jada, the definition is given here, svaprakashena aparoksha atma. So that's the meaning of the word ayam. Ayam atma brahma. Ayam means svaprakashena aparoksha. What's the meaning of the word atma? Atma means I. Now commonly we use the word I or atma for so many things. This body also is called I. The sense organs are also called I. The mind also is called I. So what do you mean by the word atma? So says dehadishopi atma shabda prayoga darshanat. Since in body, sense organs, mind, etc. also we use the word atma to denote body, etc. Atra atma shabdena kim vivakshitam. What is intended to be conveyed here by the word atma? Is it body, mind, or what it is? Iti akanshayamaha. When the akanksha, that question arises, the second line of the verse answers that ahankaradi dehantat pratyak. अहंकार आदि यस्य प्राणमनीन्द्र देह संघातस्य सो अहंकारादि तथा देहे अंतः यस्य उक्त संघातस्य सह देहान्तः अहंकारादिश्चासो देहान्तस्य इति तथा तथा मीन्स अहंकारादि देहान्तः तस्मात् मीनिंग अहंकारादि देहान्तात्. So that whole compound is explained. अहंकारादि देहान्तात्. अहंकार आदि. Adi means the beginning. Ahankara is the beginning or the first in which. So we have the whole complex here, what is called physio-physico psycho complex. So there is body, there is prana, there is manaha, indriyani, so many things are there in the complex. All of them from time to time are denoted by the word atma, by us, on account of our identification. And therefore the teacher wants to make sure that we understand what is meant by the word Atma. Somebody should not misunderstand that body is said to be Brahman or mind is said to be Brahman. But then Ahankaradhi, so it is not Pranaha, Manaha, Indriya, Deha. So Ahankara Adihi, Dehe, Antaha Yasya, Ukta Sanghatasya. This Sanghata or the assembly of the body, mind, intellect is, so Tasmat and Tasmat Pratyaga. What is meant by Atma is Pratyak. Pratyak means Pratikulya Anjati, it is Pratyak. That which shines or goes in opposite direction. So beginning from Ahankara right up to Deha, all these entities are Drashya. All of them are the category of Drashya, Jada and so forth and so on. And that which shines, that which goes just opposite to them, that which is Drashta, that which is Chetana, is called Atma. And so Pratyek means Adhishthanataya, Sakshitaya cha Antaraha. The one who is Adhishthanam, the substratum of all of them. Adhishthanam is that which is Adhikasthanam. So that which occupies more room, or that is pervade, that is a greater pervasiveness is called Adhishthanam. And therefore the rope is the Adhishthanam of the snake, because snake occupies, snake obtains only in a particular time frame, while the rope obtains at all the time, therefore it is Adhishthanam. So that which is Adhishthanam of this complex, and that is the Aham or Chaitanyam, and therefore Adhishthanam is always inner with reference to Adhyaropa. We can say the rope is inside the snake. Sometimes the rope is beyond the snake. Sometimes we say rope is inside the snake. Inside is not in the terms of space. Inside is in terms of reality. Inside in terms of subtlety. And therefore Atma also is said to be inside this body-mind-intellect complex. Inside does not mean in terms of space, that it is within some place in the body-mind, etc. But then it is subtler than that. It is Adhisthana, the substratum upon which this whole body-mind-intellect complex is superimposed, and therefore it is called Antaraha. Sakshitaya cha Antaraha. Also Sakshi, the witness, is inside with reference to what is witnessed. And so the one who is Sakshi, the witness of this whole complex of Dehendriya, Manaha, etc. is also called Pratyek. So Pratyek word is given here two meanings. Adhishthanataya, Sakshitaya cha Antaraha. Pratyek means Antaraha, one who is inner or within. Atma is called within the body-mind-intellect complex, not within in the sense of space, within in the sense of it is Adhishthanam, and within because it is the very witness. Atma iti giyate asmin vakya ityartha. Therefore, in this vakya, I am Atma Brahma. What is meant by the word Atma is this one, the one who is the witness of this complex and one who is the substratum of this complex. And therefore, one who is Pratyek or Antaraha. What's the meaning of the word Brahma? Brahmanadishu api Brahma Shabdasya Prayoga Darshanat Tad Vyavartanaya Atra Vivakshitam Arthamaha. In Sanskrit, the word Brahman is employed for many entities. A Brahma also is called Brahman, Veda also is called Brahman, Omkara also is called Brahman, Hiranyagarbha also is called Brahman, Prajapati, the creator, also is called Brahman, and Atma also is called Brahman. So when we say I am Atma Brahma, what is the meaning of that word Brahman there? Is it a Brahmana, or is it Hiranyagarbha, is it Veda, is it Pranava, or what is it? So Brahmana Vishopi, since in all this meaning also Brahma Shabdasya Prayoga Darshanat, we find that the word Brahman is used to denote so many such entities, Tad Vyavartanaya, to exclude all those concepts. Atra Vivakshitam Arthamaha. The meaning that is intended in this particular case, in this particular statement, I am Atma Brahma, what is intended by the word Brahman is given in the verse 8. Drishyamanasya sarvasya jagatastattvamīryate brahma shabdena tad brahma tad brahma swaprakāśātma rūpakam. Drishyamanasya sarvasya jagatah tattvam brahma shabdena īryate. Brahma shabdena īryate, what is denoted by the word Brahman is Drishyamanasya sarvasya jagatah tattvam. Tattvam, the truth of Sarvasya Jagataha, of the entire creation, Drishyamanasya, which is perceptible, or that which is known or objectified. So that which is the content of the truth of the entire object of creation is what is meant by the word Brahma here. Not Vedas or not Brahmana or nothing else. That's what the Tikakara explains. Drishyattvena mithyabhutasya sarvasya akashadehe jagataha tattvam adhishthanataya tadbadha avadhitvena cha paramarthikam satchidananda lakshanam yadrupamasti tad brahma shabdena iryate kachyate ityarthaha. Drishyamanasya, that creation which is drishyamanam, that which is object of knowledge, which is perceived. So drishyattvena mithyabhutasya, that being drishyam, see the whole creation is drishyam or perceived, that is mithya. How do you say that? So you find this is the Mahavakya from Mandukya Upanishad. Interestingly enough, the Upanishad part of Mandukya does not deal with Jagat at all. It only deals with Atma. It does deal with Jagat in a way. Om ityadaksharam idagum sarvam tasya upavyakshyanam bhutam bhavat bhavishyat iti saram omkara eva yachyapyanyat trikaratitam tadapyomkara eva. The first statement says that Om ityadaksharam idam sarvam. This entire creation is Om ityadaksharam, that word Om. So that word Om itself is this entire creation. Tasya upavyakshyanam kriyate, and we are now going to explain what is meant by that. Bhutam bhavat bhavishyat, it is sarvam omkara eva. What is past, bhutam, bhavat, what is going to be, what is present, bhavishyat, what is going to be in future. So what is the past, present and future, all of that is omkara eva. Meaning the word omkara denotes the entire creation. How does omkara denote the creation? Because omkara encompasses all the sounds. Omkara includes within itself that akara, which is the material cause for all the sounds, and all the names are made up of all the sounds, and whatever was there in the past, and whatever is in the present, and whatever will be in the future, all of that is going to be nama rupadmakam. So anything that was, is or will have a name, because without name nothing can ever be. And all the names are encompassed by the one sound, Om, because Omkara pervades the entire speech. Even Akara pervades the entire speech. And that is how this Nama Rupatmaka Jagat is nothing but Omkara itself. And even that which is not Nama Rupatmakam, Yachyapyanyat Trikaratitam, that is beyond the three periods of time, there is also Omkara. Because the Avyakta or unmanifest also is what is intended by Omkara, because when it becomes manifest, again it gets manifest as names and forms alone. And so Omkara indicates both the manifest and the unmanifest creation. So yes, they have said Omkara. Omkara means Brahman. The whole creation is Brahman alone, because Omkara is the name of Brahman. And then Sarvam hi etat Brahma. So first we said Brahman alone is all this. Sarvam hi etat Brahma. Then he said all of this is Brahman alone. So Brahman alone is the whole creation, and whole creation is Brahman. Thus by this mutual identification, there is the total identity is revealed there. So somebody thought, what is the nature of this Brahman? Where is it? Is it out someplace else? He says, no, I am Atma Brahma. So this Atma, which is Suprakashena Aparoksha, that one who is self-shining and directly known and self-revealing, that Atma alone is Brahman, which is this entire creation. That's all. In these two statements, the identity is given. And then of course Mandukya Upanishad proceeds to show how, what is the nature of Atma, Swayam Atma, Chatushpat. This Atma has its 4 quarters, Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti being the first 3 quarters, and Turiya being the 4th one. But Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti are Pada in the sense of Karana, and the Turiya which is Pada in the sense of Karma. So Padyate Anena it is Padaha, and Padyate iti Padaha. So Turiya is that which is known through the Jagrata, Swapna, Sushupti. And thus the nature of Atma, which is Brahman, is unfolded in subsequent mantras of Mandukya Upanishad. But the identity between Brahma and Jagat and Atma is revealed there in the very first two statements. Now, this implies a lot of things, for which the Karikakara, where the Gaudapadacharya writes whole first two chapters of Vaipatya Prakaranam as well as Advaita Prakaranam, just to show the meaning of these two statements. The Vaipatya Prakaranam shows how the entire creation is Drishyagatam, meaning which is perceptible, is all mithya, because in this waking world also there is what we call the relationship of the subject and the object, or grahya and grahaka, and wherever this kind of relationship obtains, it is mithya, because that is the relationship that we find in dream. And so by the illustration of dream, there Gaudapadacharya explains how the dream world is mithya, which is known, and the dream world is characterized by this drishya and drashta, or grahya and grahaka. And since dream is mithya, wherever grahya grahakatvam is obtained, there also is mithya, and that is how the whole waking world, which is called drishyaman and jagat, is also mithya, which is meant here. Drishyatvena mithya bhutasya. Since this creation is drishyam, since it is perceptible, it is object of knowledge, it is characterized by the relationship between the grahya and grahaka, or the object and subject, therefore mithya bhutasya sarvasya akasadehe jagataha. Of the entire creation beginning with akasa. Tattvam. What is tattvam? Tattvam is adhisthānataya tadbāda avaditvena ca pāramāsikam. So tattva is that which is the irreducible substance, that which is the non-negatable substance. Tattva means the truth, which is abhāvitam, which cannot be negated. And so when you negate everything in this jagat, what remains or what cannot be negated will be the tattvam. And that's how there is always a search for the truth, or the substance of anything is that which cannot be negated. So adhisthānataya tadbāda avaditvena. So the tattvam is that which is adhisthānam. Like when you are searching for the truth of ornaments, and then when you negate the name and form of the ornament, then what remains as a non-negatable residue is the tattva of the ornament, which is the gold, which cannot be further reduced. So an ornament can be reduced in gold, but then gold cannot. Being the adhisthana substratum, tad bāda avaditvena, which is avadhi, or the very limit of the bāda, the negation, which cannot be further negated. Avaditvena is pāramārtikam. Pāramārtikam means that which is absolute. Satchidananda lakshanam yad rūpamasti. So that which is of the nature of Satchidananda, yad rūpamasti, tad brahma shabdena īryate. So that is what is īryate kathyate ityasah. So what is said by the word Brahma is this tattvam, which is adhisthānam, which is abhāsitam of the entire visible or perceptible creation. So by the words Ayama Atma, what is meant is the self-effulgent Atma, which is inner, which is adhisthānam and sakshi, and by the word Brahman is meant that which is substratum of the entire creation. So Vakyāsam, Ayama Atma Brahma is the Vakya. And what does it mean? Tad Brahma Saprakāsātma Rūpakam. Tad Brahma Yadukta Lakshanam Brahma Saprakāsātma Rūpakam. Saprakāsātma Rūpam Swarupam Yasyatat Saprakāsātma Rūpakam Saeva Ityarthaha. And so that Brahman is nothing but Atma. So we think that the adhisthānam or the truth of the creation is out there someplace. And that's how the scientists are always searching for the truth of the creation out there in the matter. But then it is not to be found there. Where is it to be found? That Ukta Lakshanam Brahman, that which is the substratum of the entire creation, is Svaprakāsātma Rūpam, is that which is self-effulgent. Yes, Rūpam Yasyatat Svaprakāsātma Rūpam Saeva Atma, the very Atma which is self-effulgent, is in fact the truth of the visible creation. Interesting thing is, the Drashta, the Sakshi is the truth of Drishyam, because Drishyam is Mithya or Bhadayogya, and so that which remains as a Bhada Avadi, and the Sakshi, that becomes the truth or the Tattva of the even the Drishya Jagat. And so, Ayam Atma Brahma, that is how it reveals the identity between all the three, the Jiva, Jagat and Ishvara. In this manner, the chapter discusses what we call the Mahavakya Vivagati, Srimad Paramhamsa Parivrajagacharya, Sri Bharati Tirtha Vidyaranya Munivaya oh, this one, Vidyaranya Munivaya Krita, Paṃcadaśyam Mahavakya Vivagaha Samaptaha. In this text of 15 chapters, the 5th chapter is called the Mahavakya Vivagaha Samaptaha, that is concluded. Just 8 verses and 2 verses devoted to each Mahavakya, and that's how the 4 Mahavakyas are very briefly or very beautifully discussed here in this chapter. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Kesavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.